Yo, somebody's been lying. Would you believe me if I told you that prison is hell? Would you believe me if I told you that every time you go to court, they're deciding if they're going to send you home or send you to hell? So remember, we are operating under the color of law. And a lot of you go by the term black, but remember that connects to necros, which means a dead body. And that makes the judge the necromancer, right? Sorcery, witchcraft, divination by communication with the dead. You. So if you've ever been in trouble before, you recognize this place. This is a courtroom. You have your judge, you have your deputy, you have your lectum. This is where you stand with your attorney, okay? And this is the prosecutor. So you have your attorney, but a turn means to turn over to another, okay? Now the question is, what are you turning over? And remember, you showed up as a dead body. So what you're turning over is your soul. And once you turn over your soul to your attorney and the prosecutor meet at the lectum. But let's take a step back real quick. Remember, before any of this happens, the judge comes around. And when the judge comes around, the bailiff tells everybody that's sitting here, all rise. Because remember, you showed up and the rest of y'all showed up under the color of law as dead bodies. So all rise, and then the souls rise from their graves. So the thing is, you showed up in court to make an appearance. All right. A party enters an appearance when they show up to court in response to a service of process. Appearance isn't only a reference to physical presence in court when required, but also to procedural compliance. Okay? The reason physical appearance is not required is because they're working with your soul. And what they're going to do is summon you. And if they deem it necessary to come get you, they're going to send a bailiff. And the bailiff is what? A body snatcher. The bailiff also stands right here. And if you get found guilty, the bailiff comes and grabs you. The body snatcher comes and grabs you to take you where? Hell. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. The name formerly given to a place under the exchequer chamber where the king's debtors were confined. 1795 Gross's Provincial Glossary. All right. There is no redemption from hell. There is a place partially under, partially by the exchequer chamber, commonly called hell, formerly appointed a prison for the king's debtors, who were never released from thence until they had fully discharged what they owed. Now, what do you hear people say once they've got out of prison? I've paid my debt to society. I have fully discharged what I owe. Now, what we have here is Lady Justice, and the importance behind her will be shown. Watch this. The scales of Mayat, where your heart is weighed with the feather. And if your heart is too heavy, where do you go? You go to the same place you'll go if these scales don't tip in your favor. But let's get back to the appearance. So whether you show up or not, they can make you show up. It's all about what's happening in this courtroom, okay? So remember, a turn means to turn over to another, and you're turning over your soul because you arrived as a body, okay? And you have your prosecutor who go here to the lectum. What is a lectum? Lectum. To collect, gather together. So they collect your soul, then they gather together. But watch this. A turn is also a tool for drawing circles. There's something really sinister taking place. Oh man. Stay with me to the end. I need you to keep this in mind, this badge. Keep this in mind. So you'll have an officer here, 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 here. You have the lectum, all right? And you have your turn at the lectum, who draws a circle, okay? Then you have your judge, the necromancer. They don't need you to appear because they're summoning you. So what we have is the magical triangle of Solomon used to command evil spirits, right? And the magical circle of Solomon, which he made that he might preserve himself therein from the malice of these evil spirits. You don't have to appear physically because they are summoning you the same way Solomon summoned these demons. You have the triangle. The triangle. You have the lectum. The lectum. You have an officer here, 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 and down here. An officer here, 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 and here, right? You remember the badge? So whether you show up or not, they've created a sigil to make sure you appear. The devil doesn't sleep, so I need you to wake up.